RDTDaily.com presents a Tarabuster with comedian Tara Devlin.
All right. Hello, everybody. It's been a while. It feels like a long time, but here we are on our Friday gathering, our regularly scheduled Friday get-together. My name is Tara Devlin. Thank you for hanging out. This is Unapologetic Liberal Talk. Hello, Ed. Nice to see you. Ed was the first one here. He gets the prize tonight. Thank you so much. Thank you, guys. Thank you, Kathy. Nice to see you, Kathy. Nice to see you, JD. And thank you, as always, JD, for your support. Man, I'm always blown away. And thank you, Jim, for your super chat and for being a moderator in the chat room, keeping it safe, keeping it real, keeping it sane. Unlike the mainstream media that keeps Trump, sane washing Trump. That's the new word. We'll talk about it. And I want to thank Charlie, of course, from APS Radio News. Thank you so much, Charlie, for your ongoing and dedicated support to this show, keeping this show going and growing, to your love and your support of the community cats. And it matters. It's getting cold out there. It will be getting cold, I should say. And I always worry about the poor community cats. And thank you for your donations, because you'll help get them shelters this year. I mean, they have shelters, but they periodically need to be they need to be changed out, because then there's a few of them that are looking pretty rank and need to, we try to keep them nice, but you have to, they break down over time. You know how it is. All right. And so that's it. I don't know. Whatever. Thank you, Charlie. I don't know what else. I'm like just blown away by your generosity too. And yeah, I don't know what else I could do. I can't do it without you. And as we know, what have I been saying for years? We don't have big billionaire benefactors. And when the story broke this week about how the Republicans are being paid by Putin to spread their poison into the empty heads of the idiots stupid enough to go and seek out that kind of content, I wasn't surprised, but that's an example of what we're up against. I mean, one of these assholes was getting $400,000 a month to make 4 videos a week. Come on. And I guess it's a happy accident that they already hated America and that they could simply churn out the hate and the division. They were doing it anyway, right? That's what Tim Pool says, that no one was giving him editorial directions or what. Well, you should be even more ashamed of yourself then, that you're such a disgrace, that you hate America that much, and you hate democracy that much, that you didn't even have to adjust your content. It's like. But that's what I'm saying, though. This is why we don't have big billionaire benefactors, because we're not, we're actually on the right side of democracy and decency, and we're on the right side of humanity and dignity. And I mean, a lot of stuff has happened this week. Stuff. I mean, that's the stupidest word to describe what's been going on. And I don't know if you guys saw or even listened to the Mike Malloy show. Robin and I filled in Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. Robin Kincaid and I filled in for the great Mike Malloy. I filled in. I mean, keep the microphone warm. You can't fill Mike's shoes. He is the master for sure. And I'm very lucky, and I feel honored and privileged to be able to fill in. And I'm a truth seeker too. I have that. That's how I met Mike. Listening to the show. So, but that's what I'm just saying. It's part of. We were discussing what happened with this school shooting, but I'm just saying that that's another reason why I didn't do a show this week. It was just too many. I was just being pulled in too many directions, but so please forgive me. And yeah, cat lady to cat lady. Nice to see you, Lavender. Nice to see all the cat ladies out there. And thank you, Ed, for your super chat. All right, non-childless community cat guy. Yes, very nice. We take them all here, and that's the thing. So, I don't even know where to begin because, all right, I guess a couple of things I wanted to talk about and we do run out of time fast here on Friday night. Well, of course, another Republican massacre. They fomented this massacre. I'm sure JD, watching this shit from across the pond, is absolutely appalled. We're appalled. It feels like there is a sense of helplessness here because there is this notion that nothing will be done. And that's the Republicans. Republicans have stood in the way of assault weapon bans. They let the assault weapon ban expire and have stood in the way of any attempt to bring it back. There is no reason for anyone who's not in the military, who's not in a well-regulated militia. First of all, you wouldn't even if you were in the well-regulated militia like I was, you don't bring your weapons home. Your weapon stays in the armory, and on an army base, you're not walking around with your weapons. The only people that have weapons are the military police, like it is in civilian society. You can't just be like, "Hey, give me my, I can't remember the number of my weapon, but you have a number. You're assigned a number, and you can't just like pull it out like a library book." So, but this is Georgia. So what do you expect? Now they have some of the most, not, I'm sure maybe not the most, but some of the most lax gun laws in the entire nation. Now they're starting to arrest the families, the father in this particular case, of this kid, this idiot. And but he's a product of his environment, isn't he? Because I was on Twitter earlier, I'm not sure if you saw it, but there's this video going around of this school shooter guy. I'm not going to say his name. And he's out hunting with his father. So this is how they bond. Instead of like going to, I don't know, feed the homeless like Jesus told them to, or feed the hungry, and do something good for society. Go to a animal shelter, right? Help other living creatures. Instead, the father takes him hunting, and he says it's the best day of his life. He's got blood on his face, because that's what you do, I guess, when your son is sick and the police come and talk to you about the fact that he's having violent fantasies of shooting up the school. And so you train him to kill innocent creatures when there's no reason to do it, except you want to see the light go out of their eyes. It's not like he's hungry or starving or whatnot in the woods, and they're living off the fat of the land. They're doing it as a hobby. Nice hobby you got there. I don't know. I don't get it. Oh, I love hunting and fishing and whatever. It's fishing's a different. I don't like fishing either, but whatever. It's just for myself. I don't like it, but because I feel bad. I understand. It has to happen. Whatever. All right. Well, this is a different conversation for a different time, but. I'm just saying that there is a common thread with these young people who are being raised to I don't know, to be Republican, I guess, is that they have this gun fetish. What's with this gun? Everybody needs a gun. Why this father would buy this kid an assault weapon Why not a nuclear weapon, right? Why not a Claymore mine? How about a drone with a phosphorus drone? And, because you're scared. You need to protect yourself. Home protection. Why not right? Where does it stop? Republicans are good at bringing us down the slippery slope. Like if people who have the same peepees form a legal marriage contract, we'll end up with everyone marrying their pets, right? But they don't see the slippery slope here. Why an assault weapon? You don't need an assault weapon to go hunting, do you? No. The only reason you need an assault weapon is to kill as many people as fast as possible and make sure they don't get up. All right. How's it sounding, actually? How's the show? Did I get the feedback? I missed it. It sounds a little crackly in my headset. But I'm sure you have heard a lot about this school shooting. But what I wanted to say is that once again, thank you, Jim. Once again, thank you. But once again, the Republicans, they don't waste a minute when they call it a tragedy. I don't know. I think it's an inevitability, personally, because it's not the first, it's not the last school shooting. It's just the next. And J.D. Vance is talking about how we have to. More feckless non-answers to Republican-created problems. You know what I mean? Because they're not trying to actually solve this problem. They want to talk about doors. They want to talk about soft targets. They want to say here. Well, actually, let's play this horrible person that Trader Trump picked as his running mate. Because why? You know why? Actually, I do know why. And while I'm digging up this video and finding it, the reason Trump picked J.D. Vance is, yes, because his son, who is a maggot, and the maggots convinced him of it. Or I'm sure they didn't have to try too hard to convince him. But the fact is, the Republicans, this is just an aside to what we're discussing, but who's meowing? What are you doing? Francis is meowing like weirdly. Are you okay? What's up, Franny? Come on. All right. You okay? All right, he's acting weird. But it's because he's not trying to win a majority. He knows he's not going to win the majority. That's why they picked J.D. Vance. They're not trying to win a majority. They're trying to stir up the base in the swing states, in these swing states that he knows he's got to win and he knows he doesn't care. They don't care if they win a majority. The Republicans, it's only been one Republican president in the past however many years, decades, that's actually won the majority of votes, which is it's appalling. You don't have a successful society like that. You don't have a successful democracy when the people vote and you're ruled by a tyrannical minority, regardless of what the people want. You know what a different country this would be if we actually, if the presidents and the leaders that we voted for actually assumed the office because they received the most votes? You know how many people would still be alive? You know how many of these school shootings we would have averted? You know how bad? It doesn't matter about the school shooting. I mean, it does. I'm saying it. That's the wrong way to put it. I mean, it's all the shootings. It's not just the school shootings. Let's not just focus on the school shootings. That's just the most disgusting, the most telling of how depraved this country is. That we allow children to go to school and possibly not come home because they went to school because we want anyone to have an assault weapon? You can't get a beer, you can't smoke or buy a pack of cigarettes, you can't drive, you can't vote, but you can get an AR-15? I don't get it. What part of a well-regulated militia is a 14-year-old with an assault weapon? But this is Georgia. Georgia, when the guy, the sheriff who was on the media, doing the press conferences, saying, this is evil, an act of evil, evil won't prevail. Well, we won't let hate win. Other countries have hate. Other countries have evil and mentally ill people. But they don't have access to assault weapons. It's not about hate and evil. Because hate and evil don't need to get an assault weapon. Exactly, Jim on the chat. Hate is better armed. And that's the Republicans for you. And thank you, Haiku. Nice to see you. Also a moderator in the chat room. Thank you. Haiku says, how many insane Supreme Court revisions that could have been avoided? Right. But her emails. Exactly. Every time. Sometimes I think about this. I think about all the forks in the road we've stood at. And because of the corrupt and this ridiculous system where the minority gets to assume power despite receiving fewer votes, we don't want to look like Tennessee. This is what pisses me off. The Republicans love the Electoral College, even though it's this throwback to the fucking slave states when the slave states were afraid that that the so-called free states would steal their human property or whatever. And so this is part of why the Electoral College was created to really. It was during the time when the senators weren't voted for; they were chosen. So that they were really afraid of democracy truly breaking out. So it was another stopgap for democracy. And it's really an archaic throwback because we're living in a much different world, So we should evolve with the times, and the founders knew that times would change, and they had no way of knowing in which way society would change. Although George Washington did say he hoped that the country would become on the vanguard of liberality or something like that. He hoped that we would be a liberal nation. And, but, this archaic system does not work. It's not serving our needs. But the Republicans, like everything else that's archaic, they're not going to let go of it easy. And if we ever do, they'll work tirelessly. That's the only thing they work tirelessly on, is dragging us backwards. They don't work tirelessly to stop, another kid from being turned into, a premature corpse in their science class. But, as I was saying, but I was supposed to be looking up this video. So let me see. Hold on. It's so disgusting that here we are again. Because all the Republicans do are hold their breath. They're not going to do anything. We understand that. So arresting the father, that feels like action. Yeah, okay, that's something. But is that the least we can do now? We don't need this shit. Nobody, a civilian, does not need an assault weapon. Enough is enough. And frankly, guess what? As we know, the majority of the American people agree. Although, there you go. Republicans standing athwart history, yelling stop. Hold on. But they don't just stand athwart history yelling stop. They stand athwart decency, dignity, democracy yelling stop, right? So that's why I like the Harris Walls chant of "We're not going back." It's perfect. But I always think about that somebody, it was like on one of the social medias, whatever, on one of my social media sites that some Republican posted. I posted something like, "We're not going back." And it just stuck with me. Some right-winger posted, "Yes, you are." Well, okay. No, we're not, but, fuck off. It just goes to show you, yes, you are. We're going back. Well, yeah, they want us to go backwards. That's what, they hate women. They hate gays. They hate trans people. They're just, they're not fit for the modern world. That's why they should shut the F up. And, whatever. We'll play this other thing that there was like a big fist fight that broke out in a Republican meeting. And of course it did, because adulting is hard. But here's J.D. Vance talking about the school shootings. I'm sure you've heard this.
Now look, the Kamala Harris answer to this is to take law-abiding American citizens' guns away from them. That is what Kamala Harris wants to do.
Nothing to do with that.
Look, I don't like this. I don't like to admit this. I don't like that this is a fact of life. But if you are a psycho and you want to make headlines, you realize that our schools are soft targets. And we have got to bolster security at our schools so that a person who walks through the front door...
What are you talking about?
We've got to bolster security so that if a psycho wants to walk through the front door and kill a bunch of children, they're not able to. And again, as a parent, do I want my kids' school to have additional security? No, of course I don't.
You don't.
I don't want my kids to go to school in a place where they feel like you've got to have additional security, but that is increasingly the reality that we live in.
Bullshit.
Now look, the
this
Kamala
reality
Harris
Republicans
answer to this
make. It's a
is
choice.
to take law-abiding American citizens' guns away from them. That is what Kamala Harris wants to do.
No, it's repeating. What is it with your guns? Get a grip, honey. This ain't The Walking Dead. You don't need an assault weapon. A pistol, a handgun will do just fine for your home protection. What are you doing with a weapon of war? And that's why I say, why not a nuke? Why not a Claymore mine? Why not any other weapon of war? Why not? Why not a drone with an armed drone to do patrols around your fucking meth lab shack in Mitch McConnell's poorly run districts, in one of these Republicans' poorly run district? Well, because they're all pretty shitty. They're all at the bottom when it comes to everything from education, poverty, healthcare. And that's why I say, when this electoral college, we don't want to be like Tennessee or with these other states that take my blue state dollars to keep them just afloat because the Republicans they vote for do fuck all for them. Why do we want to look, people come, they want to see New York. They want to go to California. They want to see, in fact, New York they did a survey. I saw that, I just was reading this. Probably, in the middle of reading other, sitting on the toilet or something, not to be TMI or whatever. It was just something I didn't really dive into, but it said that New York is a survey around, world. It was like some travel survey. They said that New York was the number one place that foreigners wanted to see and visit. And, they're not saying I want to go see, Mitch McConnell, perjury trader Greens district. Hell fucking no. They don't want to go there. These shitholes with the sewage, like in third world countries that Republicans, disparage, do nothing for that. They do nothing for anybody. But so, when he says, this is the thing that annoys me. Of course, the corporate media is useless. But yes, they play this clip. But and the Republicans are once again holding their breath until this passes and something else happens, like Trump, shits his diapers in another criminal trial. But the he's talking about the soft targets in school. Well, what else is a soft target? How are we supposed to live? You know? I mean, you could say a concert's a soft target. A supermarket's a soft target. A synagogue, a church, high school, college, you know, where else? A park, city park, country park, where all these massacres take place. How about the midnight showing of the Batman movie? That's a soft target too. What are we supposed to do, JD? We don't want to live in your armed madhouse. Your weirdo madhouse. Right, JD on the chat says, everyone wants to visit the Ark Encounter. Yeah, that's true. Just to laugh their asses off. That's for sure. But they're not saying, wow, before I die, I want to see, like I say, the moon over the meth lab in Mitch McConnell's district. They're not longing for that. You know, they want to see the skyline of New York. They want to see that. They want to see, you know, civilization, the modern world. They don't want to go, when I went to West Virginia to visit Robin at the Horn Inn, you know, it was very touching, actually, because Robin took me around, touristy, just places, you know, I would never have gone on my own, but not just the tourist places, but the hidden gems, so to speak. And it's a beautiful land there, you know, the river and the mountains and the gore. We actually heard a hawk at one time. So I think we were walking around and Robin said something about that it was like perfectly timed hawk. So that's all I'm trying to say, is that she was saying how something about something, and all of a sudden the hawk was like, gah, gah. It was as if on cue. It was really beautiful. But, you know, there's a lot of Trumpanzees there. But these are the untouched beauty that hasn't been raped by the coal industry, you know? And but I am not a historian or of West Virginia like Robin is, but it really touched me because she was so in love with West Virginia, and you could see it. It is quite a shame that they're continuously vote for their own demise. You know, they vote against people that are throwing them lifelines, people that aren't leaving them behind with their black lung disease. Like, you know, Obama in the ACA specifically carved out policies to help the coal miners of West Virginia who were suffering from black lung. And how do they thank him? They thank him by sharing memes of him and his wife eating watermelon, right? Like dressed up like monkeys or something. They thank him and the Democrats for working to not leave them behind like the Republicans have and will and do every single time. They thank the Democrats by calling them outside their name, by not even having the dignity, the decency, the maturity, the basic level of maturity to call somebody by their name, you know? That's why the Democrats have got to get tough. And I was actually quite pleasantly surprised when I watched Morning Joe a couple of days ago. I can't remember exactly the day, but it sounded like maybe they were watching this show, or somebody was, like, or we were getting the word out somehow, because they were talking about how the red states are the taker states. And they had all the charts. And then they had how the Democrats are the ones that are good for the economy. And then they had all the charts talking about what fallacies that the Republicans have. I don't know. They've spread this bullshit, but they can't do it alone. They have to have help by the media. And the fact that the media doesn't correct it that's absolute malpractice. But it was really nice to see that, well, at least that, for whatever reason, I felt like they were taking a page right out of this show, because this is what we talk about all the time. So, but, when J.D. Vance, yet again, you hear all these assholes clapping for him, applauding this bullshit. What are you applauding? You're not applauding a policy. You're applauding platitudes, bullshit. This is nothing. Republican stances, wait, hold on, I can't talk. Come right back. I can't talk. Come on back and hear. Yeah, so these Republicans, their simplistic responses to the actual problems that we face, they're not even responses because they don't even try to pass these bullshit platitude policies. Doors are the problem. Oh, it's not the AR-15, it's the door. It's not the fact that a 14-year-old can get an assault rifle easier than he can get health care. It's not that. And his sick-ass father, who is, you better believe, is a Trumpanzee. You want to, there's nothing on the web about it. I was looking, but yet, what are the odds, right? He takes his son to kill animals for fun, puts blood on his face. The son is like, woo, this is the greatest day of my life. And then they're both posing with the corpse of a deer. This is fun for you, you fucking morons? I don't get it. Monsters, morons and monsters. I don't get it. What is so fun? Take him to an animal shelter. How about teach him, to be a compassionate human being? Crazy. Instead of a blood-soaked sociopath. It's like Jeffrey Dahmer's father, right? Took him to, they would pick up roadkill to dissect. And I'm not saying that is what turned him as cuckoo as he, but there was something going on in his formative years, and that certainly didn't help. So you got a cuckoo son that is got problems and violent fantasies. You don't take him to kill animals, you fucking moron. It's like that's like the pinnacle of the dark triad. Right? Animal abuse. Sick. But this is Republican. This is their right. Their God-given right. But we don't have a right to go to school, to the supermarket, to a church, to a synagogue, to a concert, to a movie. We don't have the right to just be safe. How sick. When you think about it, I can't even wrap my head around it. And what do Republicans do? Think about the perjury trader Green chasing David Hogg, who is a survivor of a school shooting. And this was years ago when he was still he was still in his teens. He had survived another Republican policy created school massacre. And what has perjury trader Green got for him? Thoughts and prayers? She can't muster that. Chasing him down the street. Harassing him. When do you want to take my Second Amendment rights? What do you want? Fucking, what is wrong with you people? And then the fact that they applaud these platitudes. How much do you hate yourselves? I guess, how much do you hate your children? Oh, yeah, but these assholes, when little traitor Trump got somebody else's blood on his ear when he was shot at, I don't know, I'm just saying. Looks like a false flag to me. No, I don't know. I'm sure somebody shot at him, but he did not in no way, shape, or form have an injury on his ear. He did not get shot in the ear, because if he did, he'd have no ear, okay? And there'd be, at least be a scar. So, Republicans, let's see, like Ted Cruz, Uvalde, sitting there talking to the parents of the massacred children, talking about how we need doors, we need increased armed security in schools, we need teachers to carry firearms, we need, address mental health issues, except when Democrats tried to pass expanded mental health access for young people in schools, what did Republicans do? I know you're way ahead of me. They blocked it. They're so full of shit. They bring nothing to the table. Hardening school buildings with enhanced security measures. This is all insanity. You might as well harden the entire society. But that's what they want. Everyone should have a gun. You should have everybody with an assault weapon. Who's a good guy with a gun? A bad guy with a gun? You don't know. Good guys with a gun all of a sudden turn into bad guys with a gun. Like, I saw the video, I wish I had never seen it, of one of these. It's not a school shooting, not a shooting in a supermarket where one fucking scumbag armed by Republicans drives up, starts shooting people going into the supermarket. And so, you go in there to get a pint of freaking ice cream so you can watch Game of Thrones or something. And then you're dead outside the supermarket. It's so horrific. But he was a good guy with a gun. Right up until that time, he pulled the trigger. Legal gun owner. Got it all legally. So that's why Republicans say, you can't stop law-abiding gun owners. Well, why do you need an assault weapon? That is the issue. So the Republicans are like, Democrats want to take your guns. The only president that ever presided over a gun grab was George W. Bush after Katrina. And that's because black people had guns. You understand? Yes, I know you do. But Republicans created this tragedy, another tragedy. It's a choice, not a tragedy. So they oppose, of course, even though this is majority of Americans. Oh wait, all of a sudden my headphone, did the audio change? It just started sounding different in my headphones. Weird. Let me know if anything changes on the stream. They oppose universal background checks, even though the majority of Americans support it. They block red flag laws to temporarily remove guns from at-risk individuals. But you know that in I think it's Switzerland they have a gun culture there too. But let me see, what's the stats of, they have no school massacres and things like that. Shootings in Switzerland, because they have red flag laws too. Yeah, so in Switzerland actually requires citizens to own guns, but they have the lowest homicide rate in the entire world. The vast majority of firearm deaths in Switzerland are suicides. The gun homicide rate is approximately 0.2 per 100,000 inhabitants, which is 20 times lower than the United States. Yeah. Well, Georgia, let's see. Georgia gun policies. I had this, but now I can't find it. Oh, okay. Georgia gun policies. Off the top of my head, they have no waiting period for guns. There's no background checks, of course. You don't need a permit or any kind of training. That's the difference too. In Switzerland, you need to be trained. So yes, they have something called constitutional carry, which is bullshit, of course. It's just some fucking another frame that Republicans wrap their indecency around to give it the veneer of legitimacy. It's like putting, perfume on a pile of poo. That's what they do. Constitutional carry. I mean, if you need a gun to go shopping, you got bigger problems. But you see that it's always these gun nuts. They're mentally ill. If that's your hobby, you like killing things, you like looking at guns, you like looking at the damage the guns do. You hoard weapons, you have a stockpile. There's something cuckoo loose. But that's your constitutional right. You don't have a right to go to a doctor when you're sick. Well, you can go to the emergency room and they'll kick you out because you don't have insurance. Yes, so in Georgia, no license is required. A weapons carry license is not needed to purchase or carry a firearm in Georgia. So you don't need a permit. You don't need a background check. You don't need any kind of training. You can't even wait. You don't have to wait a second. If you need a gun right now, you know how it is. Somebody cuts you off in traffic, you just pull right into that gun store. I mean, why? I can't wait. Give me a gun. I need it now. I need my assault weapon now. It is absolutely insane. Terry on the chat says, just insane. It is insane. This does not make any sense. Unless, I guess, you're a Republican. It doesn't make sense to me how they continue to vote for their own demise. And sadly, they vote for everyone else's demise, too. I wish it was only them who felt the sting of the lash of their policies. But it's everyone else they drag with them. Even though they receive fewer votes. They're a minority party. They represent fewer people with a minority ideology. And you don't have, if you have a state that is on the low end, the lowest in poverty, not the lowest, has the worst poverty rate, but they have more say as to who gets to rule over us, that's not the recipe for success. So let's see. In Georgia law requires public colleges and universities to allow permit holders to carry on campus. There's no red flag law. So forget it. Even if you could say, hey, this is a kook over here that's going to shoot up a school. Oh, well, I guess you better pray it ain't you or your kids. But this is what Republicans are, and this is what they do. They cause pain and misery, and there are our fellow Americans, there are more of them now, who will be damaged for the rest of their lives, and you have children that will never grow up. People who are just working and going to work, trying to teach the children well for the future and all that. Republicans are all about children, though, aren't they? They're all about life and babies and children and families. Jesus Christ. Oh, let's see. Oh, wow. Well, carrying firearms is still prohibited in certain areas, such as, guess what? Government buildings. You see? That's because the Republicans who write the laws Laws for thee, not for me. They don't want to feel threatened at their place of work. Unlike us, unlike the citizen who have to wonder, gee, is this good time to go to a supermarket, a school, a church, a synagogue, a concert, a movie? Should I go to that midnight showing or not? Yes. So, all right, let's get him off the screen. But it didn't take a minute when the name of this budding Republican with the Republican father that gave him a assault weapon was released. Republicans all over Elon Musk's, I don't know, his vomit machine now. You know that Elon Musk tweets like, I don't remember the exact number. They were saying around like 100 times a day. He's a genius though, right? Yet another example of what a fraud he is. What genius sits there spreading QAnon theories and anti-trans memes and, Putin's propaganda all day. Just all day. All day. I can barely do the show sometimes on Friday nights, I got a lot going on. I got a lot, time. How? You're a genius? And you're just tweeting out, and tweeting, of course, lies, too. Just lie. Just so stupid to constantly fall into the lies that Putin is churning. But, of course, this is the pattern of shootings, of any shooting in this fucked up country, is Republicans allow their policies create the blood-soaked madhouse. They sow the seeds of the blood-soaked madhouse, and then, of course, the Republican chickens always come home to roost and failure and death. And then the Republicans take to their social media sites to somehow spread lies and blame Democrats. Just like on cue, you could set your clock to it, that every school shooting or any shooting in general that happens in this country, that gets noticed, I should say. Because there are gun massacres every day in the country. I'm sure you know that don't even make the headlines. But they get on their vomit machines and they start spreading filth and lies, and they all fall for it. That's why when Putin pays these very untalented, morons, that the only thing that they have going for them is that I guess they can talk, but they just spew lies. They just spew hate and lies like these right-wing propagandists. I don't see the appeal like, Tucker Carlson never impressed me. Or Tommy Lauren and, all these terrible, horrible people. And what are they doing? Why do people like to listen to them? Because they validate their hate. They give them permission to hate. It's an angertainment. They're addicted to it. And I'll say it again, I don't hate these people. I mean, I hate what they do to the country. I hate that they're killing our children and that their policies are shit and that they want to destroy democracy and that they are addicted to this filthy con man, this tax cheating, draft dodging dirtbag, rapist, con man, convicted felon. But I want them to have health care, That's what we're doing here. I want them to have living wages, an 8-hour workday and decent working conditions, a weekend, days off, vacation time, paternity leave, maternity leave. If you're sick, go to a doctor. If you are disabled, that you don't have to live on the streets. That's what I want. That's what we're talking about. Like the rest of Earth. But they're up there, worshiping their oppressors while telling everybody how how delusional we are. Like we're supposed to be the ones. We don't see the Matrix, but they're just spewing Russian propaganda. And you got to ask yourself, I don't understand. So anybody who votes Republican, we've said it before, you're in league with, first of all, you're in league with the KKK. Trump is endorsed by the American Nazi Party and the KKK. Those are your friends. You want to know somebody? Look at their friends. Look at the company they keep. And now and we knew this before, of course, and you're also in league with the America-hating dictators of the world. Crazy. But you're patriots, right? You got to ask yourself why. And if they had any sense, they would, because that's why I call them Republicans. Because if you are a Republican, you're already gone. You're out of this party. This is a cult. It's a rotting corpse of the Republican Party. All the Republicans are gone already. Liz Cheney, I never had anything in common with her. She sucked. She shouldn't have voted for Trump twice. That's what she did, though. And she voted with him over 99.9% of the time, allowing him to get away with all his horrible bullshit. It's fucking Muslim bans and tax cuts that are expiring this year for you and me. Because there you go, suckers. Suckers are born every minute. Trumpanzees are living proof. But I'm not, we don't hate them. But they hate us. They hate society. They hate decency. They hate humanity. They hate anybody that's not them. They're very sick. But you would think that if you are patriots, if you purport to be patriotic and you purport, to love your country, then wouldn't you take a minute to think, be like, why does the democracy-loathing dictators of the world want my Lord and Savior, Donald Jesus Trump, back in the Oval Office despite receiving fewer votes? You think you would think? Think for a minute, Trumpanzees. Try to put it together. All right, this is Tara Devlin. Come back. Come back, Shane. Jesus, Mary and Joseph. But so, of course, what was I? Did I even get to the point? Because the point was as soon as this massacre happened, and then as soon as they knew who did it, they had the name. Guess what the Republicans were doing? They were creating fake memes and fake Facebook profiles that the school shooter was a Democrat, a Kamala Harris voter. They have pictures of this, of course it's all fake, of this person wearing a Harris Walls shirt and a rainbow flag and all this, because that's what they do. They lie. And of course it was spread out and this is the pattern in the school shooting or any other shooting, any massacre. That's the Republican pattern. Rinse, repeat. It happens all the time. Republicans, they try to pretend. It's as if it fucking matters, Oh, it's a Democrat. No, it's not. It's not a Democrat. Just like when Trader Trump got shot at. It wasn't a Democrat. No, Democrats aren't. I don't know. I'm not saying that all Democrats are not sick, but Democrats don't fucking like. I don't know, but I can't make an overarching statement like that. I was going to say that they don't like, killing I'm sure there are hunters and Tim Walz, right? He likes to kill animals. Fuck him. But I'll still vote for him. But, yeah, so I can't say that. But, I don't know. It doesn't seem like in the Democratic Party wheelhouse. Harris walls and rainbow flag. But this is what they do, I'm trying to find, what the fuck is it? Oh, here it is. Yeah. Democrats don't like ugly. Exactly, Pookie's mama. Yes, they were spreading pictures of I'm not saying the kid's name, wearing Harris for president. And social media posts attempting to portray this piece of shit as a Harris supporter. Of course. But this is in the long history. Let's see. How come I can never find the things that I set out to find? Let me see. Probably because by the time I'm done, it gets buried on the list. Because I had a list of all of the more recent shootings. Let's see. And of all the examples of Republicans, what they did each time. Saying that it's Democrats. Come on. Beep, 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 beep. Become a patron at patreon.com/taradev. Let me play a video while I'm looking for this. It's kind of interesting. I swears it is. That's why I like Wednesdays, too. Or the shows during the week. Because it takes the pressure off the time. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. So, oh, God. Well, let's talk about... Well, here's Trump bragging he did nothing on guns. Or maybe not.
During my 4 years, nothing happened, and there was great pressure on me having to do with guns. We did nothing.
Can you believe that?
There has been a church shooting.
The news of a school shooting.
Breaking news, another shooting.
At least 20 people have been shot.
The worst attack in the U.S.
There were significantly more mass shootings.
We did nothing.
Crazy.
During my 4 years, nothing happened. And
Nothing happened. Yes, so Republicans have indeed made claims every time. Well, during the... Hold on. What the fuck? Hey, let me play this again.
in my 4 years,
I'm sorry to do it to
and
you.
there was great pressure on me
Great
having
pressure.
to do with guns. We did nothing.
You piece of shit. We did nothing.
There has been a church shooting.
The news of a school shooting.
Breaking news, another shooting.
At least 20 people have been shot.
The worst attack in the U.S.
There were significantly more mass shootings.
We did nothing.
We did nothing. Oh my
During
God.
my 4 years, nothing happened. And
Well, this is the pattern in the, in the life cycle of an American massacre. So, all right, well, let me play this. Let's move on a little bit because I see the time is, we're going to lose progressive voices soon. Not that soon. Oh, but before I continue, if you guys can, Shannon, our friend Shannon, Tarabuster OG Shannon, who shares our Friday evenings sometimes. I'm getting a message. YouTube is not receiving enough video or to maintain smooth streaming. God damn it. Son of a bitch. All right, so Shannon is in a contest. I'm just going to post it. It's called The Face of Horror, if you can. She's in first place right now, so I'm going to post it in the chat. If you have a Facebook group or a Facebook page, you can sign in and vote for Shannon. And you could do it every single day. Okay? Our friend Shannon. Shannon V. Okay, my friends. Okay. All right, let's move on. I can't find the fucking thing. It's so annoying. But anyway, Republicans offer nothing but division, and it's a long list of every time there's a massacre, they offer the same old policies, and then they try to blame Democrats. It makes no sense if you actually wanted to effect change, you know? But you realize that's not their objective. They don't want anything to change. This is working out just well for them because they like that NRA blood money. And all they do, when all that Republicans do is stoke division against the American people. I mean, these are the people saying that, you know, you gotta fear your neighbor. I'm not saying everything is, you know, freaking perfect and all, and yeah, there are some sick people out there, but they have so divided this country. I often wonder, where the hell do they think they're living? You know, this is not The Walking Dead. Oh shit. Oh, hold on. Oh boy, this show is really a technical marvel tonight. You know, but anyway, all right. This is why we live in a country where a bunch of kids drive up a driveway because they're lost trying to find a party, and one of them ends up dead. Hold on. That's a Republican, too, that did that. All right. So, you know, as I always say, that Republicans spread Putin's talking points, and I'm right, of course. I hate to be right. It sucks to be right, really, in all ways. But they're all crying victim now. Here it is. What the fuck is happening? Sorry, guys. This is like a, you know, this won't go in the award winners tonight's show. Where is my... I don't know. Everything is... I'm still getting a message. Are you guys having a problem watching the show? Because it's saying everything is buffering. Is everything okay? All right. All right. You know what? Instead of... Let's go here. Because I think this will be funnier. Or at least more infuriating. And you guys know how and let me know if it's buffering, because it's telling, I have this big yellow message on my, as you can see, telling me the stream is not working. So, but I'm not sure. Hopefully it won't crap out. So, all right. You know how I talk about the corporate media all the time, and there's a new word. I really appreciate it because it's kind of hits the nail on the head. It's called sane washing Trump. And this is what, I mean, that makes sense, right? It really solidifies what we've been watching. And I have examples of this. Now, if you missed the most inane rambling, he went to the economic club, and someone asked this fucking waste of human DNA, traitor, rapist, convicted felon, a question. And it's absolutely unbelievable. Here it is. Here's the
If you win in November, can you commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable? And if so, what specific piece of legislation will you advance?
Well, I would do that, and we're sitting down. You know, I was somebody. We had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, that because look, child care is child care.
Child care is child care.
It's something you have to have it. In this country, you have to have it.
In this country.
But when you talk about those numbers compared to the kind of numbers that I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at levels that they're not used to,
like
but they'll get used to it very
seen.
quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including child care, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on waste and fraud and all of the other things that are going on in our country. Because I have to stay with child care. I want to stay with child care, but those numbers are small relative to the kind of economic numbers that I'm talking about, including growth, but growth also headed up by what the plan is that I just told you about.
What plan?
We're going to be taking in trillions of dollars, and as much as child care is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. We're going to make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. So we'll take care of it. Thank you.
Right now we have to do it because we're a failing nation. But we have to do it. Make America great again. What are you applauding? You embarrassing monkeys. You're embarrassing monkeys. We gotta have it. Like nobody's ever seen. The children, child care. Hey, it's child care. It's like nobody's ever seen. You gotta have it. You gotta have it. Like, other countries here in this country. You gotta have it in this country. Because it's like, and we're going to do it. We got a lot of numbers and growth. And, they're not going to keep doing business. And it's just the way it is. You got to see Ivanka. Ivanka told me she's very good at this. She has, if she wasn't my daughter, I'd be dating her. But she's very good at childcare. Because, she has an innie, not an outie. But, the EG, I never touched that woman in the, she's not my type. Yeah, it wouldn't be her. Yeah, the weave. This is the weave. And what are you fucking applauding? That was nothing but a bunch of words with absolutely no relation to the word that came before it or after it. It was just a word after a word after a word. And child care. Could you imagine? We have to play the game all the time. If any Democrat behaved like that, talked like that, answered a question, I have never seen, and no one has ever seen, like nobody's ever seen, right? Like nobody's ever seen a more nonsensical collection of words as an answer to a policy question of someone running for the highest office in the goddamn land. And I do mean goddamn this land. If they put that piece of dirt anywhere near the halls of power. Again, how dare you put him there the first place? You filth. Oh, you had your fun. Right? Because you don't they want to tear it down. Oh, you need change. That's why. These monkeys, these Trumpanzees were upset because the world keeps evolving without them. So it wasn't about economics, as we know, because all the time we were hearing how, these economically stressed white guys, it had nothing to do with economics because they did studies on it. They were only being generous, assuming that they were economically whatever, stressed out. So they voted for Trader Trump because their vote for Trader Trump had nothing to do with their freaking kitchen table. It had to do with their hate. It had to do that they wanted somebody to validate their ignorance and their hate. to give them permission to not have to keep up with the rest of us, because the world kept evolving. People kept getting more accepting of diversity, and others, you might encounter somebody who's not scared shitless to come out of the closet. They can't handle it. They can't handle the vast diversity of life, of the human experience. They hate it. That's why they're like, there are only two genders. Pee-pee, innie, and pee-pee, outie. Which is not even true, technically, if you want to just talk about pee-pees. This is how fucking stupid they are. There are a lot of pee-pees. I mean, there was mostly the majority are lucky enough to be born without the another fucking thing that Republicans can vilify. You know what I mean? You're born in the right body. But there are others that are not. And there's intersex. There are all kinds of genitalia. Just if you want to talk about peepees, when it comes to X chromosomes, while there is a typical chromosomal pattern for male and female, X, Y, and XX, there are variety of chromosomal variations that can occur. We know this. This is science. It's just reality that contributes to the diversity of the human biology, the human experience. XY chromosomes, male, XX, female. But then there's something called Klinefelter syndrome, which is XXY. And it occurs in males. So they have both. Have extra X chromosome. It could lead to, what do you do then, right? Then there's something called Turner syndrome. It affects females who only have one X chromosome. Then there's triple X syndrome. This is it happens to females. Then there's XYY syndrome. This condition affects males. They have an extra Y chromosome. There's also something called I can't talk. I can't even say this word. Androgen insensity syndrome affects individuals who are genetically male. Hold on. We'll be right back. There's also, we're talking about peepees here on Tarabuster for the peepee police. If you're going to be the peepee police, you should get, you should know your peepees, right? So there's genitalia that can be beyond traditional male and female. There's something called ambiguous genitalia, where a newborn's external genitalia or genitals, I should say, do not appear either male or female. And what do you do? This happens, this is not rare either. This occurs in 1,000 to 4,500 births. So guaranteed. You're on a New York City subway with somebody that has this condition or was born like this. It happens more than you would think, right? 1 in 1,000 or 1,000 to 4,500 births. That's a lot. But they learned over time that, because back in the day, they would just perform surgery. They would castrate or try to make, what is this? I'll make it male or female. And then the child grows up and they're not that. And they were chosen. It was chosen because they used to think that gender ideology or your gender identity was just a matter of conditioning. And no. So now they wait until the child says, what it is. There's also intersex, and we did a whole thing about the intersex hero of the American Revolution. Right? That, let's see, intersex. Okay, was a French person, if I'm not, or no, Polish. Yeah, Casimir Pulaski, Polish-born general who fought in the American Revolution, was likely intersex. Identified as a man, but his body did not fit the standard definition of male and female. DNA testing confirmed that a female skeleton was in fact Pulaski's. See? You see? But there you go. You know, pee-pee police. They are barbaric, Haiku. You're absolutely right. Absolutely barbaric. But so that's that word fucking jumble is called well, Trump calls it the weave, right? But if you are gonna weave, don't you think it would make sense somewhere along the line? When you weave, when it weaves, you're like, wow, you blew my mind. That's what Trump says. They blew, English professors are all saying how you weave, you bob, you weave, and then it comes around. No, it has to make sense somewhere. You have to wrap it up in a way that makes sense. But he doesn't. So it's nothing but, he doesn't know shit, okay? He doesn't know a fucking policy from his penis. Speaking of peepees. But it is absolutely, what do you call, it's sane washing. So here we go. You want to, here's an example. It was, somebody put this together on Twitter. On Elon Musk's vomit machine. So, well, I would do that. We had Senator Marco Rubio, and my daughter Ivanka was so impactful on that issue. It's a very important issue. But I think when you talk about the kind of numbers that I'm talking about, childcare is childcare. You have to have it in this country. You have to have it. But when you talk about these numbers compared to the kind of numbers I'm talking about by taxing foreign nations at the level they're not used to, but they get used to it very quickly, and then they're not going to stop them from doing business. I mean, I won't read the whole thing. I know it's like a rake on a chalkboard with this fucking babbling of the con man. We're going to be talking trillions of dollars. As much as childcare is talking about being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. Okay, right. We got it. We listened to it. Here's what the New York Times wrote. Okay? To their readers about this speech. After his speech, this is Michael Gold. After his speech, Donald Trump was asked how he might address rising childcare costs. In a jumbled answer, he said he would prioritize legislation on the issue, but offered no specifics and insisted that his other economic policies, including tariffs, would take care of childcare. Is that what he said? As much as childcare is talked, this is a quote, as much as childcare is talked about as being expensive, it's relatively speaking not very expensive compared to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. If that isn't a sanitizing of the jumble of words that made no sense, he just cherry picked out of the ramble and try to repackage it as if Trader Trump has any grasp at all on any policy. He has no goddamn understanding. Ask him what a tariff is. Like, what's his name always talks about? What's his guy? You know, he's on MSNBC. I can't remember his name, but that's what he says. He says all the time that, the media should, they give him far too much latitude. They give him, and it's enabling him. As if they enable him and the idiots stupid enough to vote for him to appear somehow like he has any understanding of issues. He doesn't know issues, which is why it's such a fucking terrible timeline to live in, that we have to endure the ramblings of this monster, and then have the media pretend like, waste all our time on this pretense that he knows what he's talking about. Like when he said that IVF is going to be paid for by the government, everybody's going to get it, and it's going to be it's going to be a free for all. And then they spent 3-4 days talking about, well, what does he mean? I mean, that's a sick ass society that continues to fall for it. It's like Lucy and the goddamn football. But it's not us. That's why I ask you, and I'm very grateful for your support of the real liberal media. But because that's what the fucking media does. Look at this shit. Here's another one. Hold on. Here's another one from the media. Well, I would do that. Oh, well, this is the same thing. Okay, same thing. Same, you're taking in trillions in childcare. You gotta have it. It's childcare. You gotta have it. AP, Trump suggests tariffs can help solve rising childcare costs in major economic speech. What? What? Is that what we witnessed? No. We witnessed an old fucking codger who didn't read the book. It's like a 12-year-old trying to give a book report. Childcare. You gotta have it. It's a little weird to have two of me right there. You gotta have it, and like nobody's ever seen in economics. It's gonna they'll still have business here with business and Ivanka and Marco Rubio. They were very good at this. You should ask them. Yeah. Are you fucking kidding me? It's absolutely goddamn disgraceful. Hold on. And the media should rightfully be shamed for this. We'll be right back. This is Tara Devlin. Oh my God, that's the end of the Progressive Voices part of the show. Jesus Christ, I didn't realize how fast it went. Thank you guys. We will have more show, man, over at youtube.com/c4channel/Tarabuster. It doesn't have to end here. Come on over and become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. Oh, Jesus Christ. What was that? I think I just kicked my little Boudica. I'm sorry, baby. We will win. We're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News, for supporting the real liberal media. I'll see you soon. Booty. I think I kicked Booty. Booty, come. Come here. Come here, honey. Come here, little girl. Oh, I got you. Don't worry. Everybody wants to see you. Right, honey? Hello, Booty. Look over here. Say thank you, Charlie. Thank you. All right, honey. I'll put you down. All right. Just had to check on her. She's a booty, She's a little booty. Oh, God. Let me see. But look at that. And look here. We have more. Look at this. How Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's child care and family policies differ. What? What? One has a policy. Well, I don't know what's going on. The camera keeps going black, so I'm just hoping for the best. One has a policy and the other has the weave. This is Newsweek, the cover of or an article on Newsweek. How Donald Trump and I keep saying it wrong. Kamala Harris's child care and family policies differ. Former President Donald Trump was pressed on his plans. Let me move this over. To address. His plans to address child care costs. Like he has a plan, okay? Like he has a plan. Like he ever did. Like he has his health care plan that's coming in 2 weeks, remember? During an appearance before the Economic Club of New York on Thursday, during which the Republican nominee, convicted felon, the tax cheat, the draft dodger, who stands over the graves of soldiers with thumbs up and a smile, the one who is a convicted felon, a convicted rapist, accused of raping 34 women over his life and probably more, who, in his ex-wife's book, she wrote that he raped her. Why can't keep a con man down, who is now trying to argue that a payoff to a porn star is part of his official acts, and of course he's getting away with it. And con man, fake university, fake vitamin scam, who doesn't even bother setting up the PAC that he begs his dumbasses to donate to. The guy with the serial bankruptcies, the history of sexual assault. I mean, that guy. The rapist, the con man, the grifter, the NFT salesman, the traitor, the Putin puppet who met with Putin in secret and confiscated the transcript. Oh, yeah, that guy, the Republican nominee. The liar, the pathological liar, the narcissist, the one who everything he touches dies. The one who said to his nephew, who has a child with developmental disabilities, he said, maybe it would be better if he dies. Just let him die and come to Florida. To all that expense, That one. That guy. That real champ of a guy. He promoted his fiscal policy as a solution to the rising prices of everyday necessities. Is that what he fucking did? You disgrace. Newsweek. Is that what he did? When asked by Girls Who Code founder Rashima Soujani if he would commit to prioritizing legislation to make childcare affordable, if re-elected to office, Trump told the panel of business leaders that his plans to increase taxes on imports could take care of it. Take care of rising costs. Are you fucking... Is that what he said?
If you win in November.
Nations at levels that they're not used to, but they'll get used to it very quickly. And it's not going to stop them from doing business with us, but they'll have a very substantial tax when they send product into our country. Those numbers are so much bigger than any numbers that we're talking about, including childcare, that it's going to take care. We're going to have, I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time, coupled with the reductions that I told you about on...
See, if they were talking about deficits or anything else, that's how they would write the article and they would frame the headline. Trump has plans for deficits. He says he looks forward to having no deficits with his policies that are nonsensical. And everyone's just looking at him, applauding. Oh, yes, okay. But what the fuck? Could you fucking imagine? I'm sorry to curse, but it's after 10 now. Yeah, it's 10. But I apologize for my potty mouth. But if Harris or Walls said anything, any of these sentences, put any of these same words together in a string and tried to pass it off as a policy, what would the media headline be? You think it would be Trump calls for, let's see, or tariffs will make his childcare policies coming in 2 weeks. Trump discusses plan to pay for childcare. Trump's plan differs from Harris's. What the fuck? You should be ashamed, media. And this is all for the years. This is a result of all the years of Republicans working the refs. It's true that because all those years they don't want the media to call them biased. Oh, they're biased. He's being picked on again. And that's another thing. I was talking to my aunt, who is also a normal person, of course. And I was just like, aren't these fucking people sick of listening to this 78-year-old orange dirtbag, con man, serial bankrupt, tax cheat, the biggest loser, the single biggest tax loser in American history in 10 years? He declared more losses than every other single American, receiving the largest tax, what do you call it? Not giveaway. I never get a tax return back because I always have to pay. I do freelance, that's why. So, tax return. He received the biggest tax return because he declared more losses. Paying, what did he pay? Like $800 one year, $700, if that. And then other years, he received millions in a tax return because he was the single biggest loser American taxpayer. But do these people ever get tired of listening to this con man whine about how unfair everything is to him? Yeah, it's unfair, all right, but not in the way that scumbag talks about. It's unfair to us. You know what's unfair? That he's not getting sentenced when he should be sentenced. If you or I did anything close to what he did, and continue and we were convicted of 34 felonies, we'd be in fucking prison. But he gets away with it, and Judge Mershon can kiss my white Irish ass for this shit. Because he's like, you know what he said? And in fact, they said it on the corporate media without a hint of irony. Which is why you should support this show and Robin Kincaid and Mike Malloy and others like it. Because we don't have, Russia over here. But anyway, they said that, wait, just lost my fucking train of thought. But why does that happen? I think I do that to myself on purpose. They said, all right, I'll get back to it. So I know Haiku should take notes and tell me. There was a point to this. Oh boy, I'm losing patrons by the second. He lost $1 billion in 1 year. Oh yeah, merchants. Thank you, Ed. Thank you, Ed. You see? You guys. Thank you. Yes, Judge Mershon, kiss my white Irish ass. That's where we were, right? And no, he said that he wasn't being political by whatever they do, decreeing this delay in sentencing, because either way it's either he doesn't want to look political. Are you fucking kidding me? That's the reason you put on the delay, motherfucker. He doesn't want to look political, though. He said that either way it would be political, but he wanted everybody to know it was not a political decision. But of course it was. Come on. What a disgusting disgrace. I'm so sick of this shit. And look, that's why we can't sit on our laurels here. I do believe Harris will win, but it's not going to be without a fight. A legally and peacefully fight. They're not going to fight legally and peacefully. That's why we should be alarmed, because they're all like, he's a kook, he doesn't, J.D. Vance, the pick, didn't do anything to broaden his appeal. He doesn't care. They don't care. The Republicans don't care. That's why they want to inflict Project 2025 on us. That's something that they know the American people don't want, but they're going to do it anyway. The American people didn't want them to fucking roll back Roe v. Wade. The American people didn't want that disgusting fucker, Mitch McConnell, to shove those unqualified loyalists on the bench. The American people didn't like that, the majority, but they did it anyway. So it's that they don't care what the American people want or like. They're not a majority party. They are an autocracy. They're a fascist party. They're an authoritarian party. Not they are an autocracy. They're an authoritarian cult. They want Big Daddy to save them from the scary, complex world of others who don't know their place. And that's why they hate democracy. That's why. Because democracy requires compromise. It requires adulting. It requires to be able to live with people that may not think like you or worship your sky spook or whatever. That's why he doesn't care. That's why they have J.D. Vance, because they're trying to activate the base in these states, because they know they're not going to win the majority. They want to get the kooks. They want to get the bats out of the belfry, flying high and into the voting booth. And they already have set up the steal. Stop the steal. That's why they have they got rid of the stopgaps to they want to get rid of everybody that has any integrity. That's the worst thing you can do in the Trumpanzee death cult, is have integrity and stick by your oath of office. All of those Republicans have already been drummed out of the party. So yeah, exactly, Jim, that's the plan. That's why they're not trying to appeal. Why is he... Oh, shit, there goes the... Why is it... What is going on with this fucking camera? It keeps going black. Look, now it's frozen. Come on, not a good look. Can you hear me? Alright, and the camera like froze. Are we back? I blame Republicans. No, I blame, I don't know, that was weird. Weird. It wasn't a good look either. It was like... I don't know, something was going on. Was that Buddha? Maybe that was Buddha. She has a thing with wires sometimes. But, oh shit, what is going on here? I don't know what I gotta get a new something. This is not an old computer. I feel like I need a new one though. How old is this computer? It's a couple of years. It is Orange World. It's like, ooh. Orange World. Maybe new cables, probably. Well, maybe, yeah. I actually unplugged the camera earlier because it was like all tangled. So maybe it's not in there right. I'll have to check it. Click it, check it, rock. There it goes again. Fuck. Hold on a second. This is not good. Not good. What is happening? I have a backup. Fuck my life. I'm gonna fix it. Hold on. Son of a bitch. Maybe it's like bugged out. Lumina. It keeps bugging out. Lumina. Lumina. Here comes the beat up out of Lumina. I have another camera here, but it's not plugged in. God damn you, camera. Why does everything suck on Tarabuster? Beat-a bada buddha. What the fuck? Some show you got there. How come everybody else has a show that doesn't have a fucking camera like this? Hold on. It's getting worse by the second. I need to put on a video while I put the other camera in. What is happening? This is crazy. It's really getting bad. Fucking Lumina. See this? I have... You guys can still hear me though, right? Lumina. Why do you hate me, Lumina? Why do you hate me? Why is Lumina trying to kill my show? Don't you know, Lumina, you got to go. Let me see. Hold on. What's happening to me? It's Lumina. Let's kiss Boudica. Boudica. I wanna kiss Boudica. Let's kiss little Boudica. Look at that. She's very cute and very small. Why does that look like that? That's my backup camera. Can you believe that? That's a shitty looking camera. Why? Tell me why. Weird. Software update available. You know what? All right, well, we'll have to go with it. You know what I'll have to do? I'll just make it small. You could still hear. If you win in November, you could still hear the show, right? It's still going. Am I right? Am I wrong? Click it. Why? Let me see. How come that's not... What kind of camera is that? I don't know. I don't know. There's no... There must be some levers somewhere. Levers. Camera. Oh, don't worry. I'll make some more show here. We'll make up for this technical problem. Can you believe this shit happens right in the middle of the show? There must be. I think I have like some webcam settings. Maybe that'll help. Lumina disconnected 104 times today. I'm getting a... Oh, okay. That's a little better. This is the backup camera. Let's see. That's my screen. What do you think? I mean, it's all right. It's better than nothing. All right. I mean, doesn't really do me any favors, but, you know, we'll just have to go with it for tonight. All right. How's everybody doing? We're back. We're back from wherever we were. Whatever that was. We're here. Okay. Where are you, though? Oh, my goodness. What the fuck is going on? I'm looking for everybody. All right. What a world. Why? I hope I didn't shut the stream down. Oh, here you go. All right. You see the producer. Yeah, it's a wider angle. I don't know. I think I can zoom in a little. No? No. That's the USB camera, or that's another camera. Webcam. Webcam settings won't open. Lumina, I'm trying to shut the Lumina down. We're just going to deal with it for tonight. It's only, I don't know. Sorry about that. Now you can see my whole house over here. Not the whole thing, but more of it. More of my home. Where I lay my little head when I want to dream of a world with no Republicans. Oh no! What's going on in here? Alright, this is like madness tonight. Alright. Okay, let's do this last story. Let's do this story. Because I was on a roll. Then we came to a crashing halt a few times. And let's do this story because I thought it was kind of amusing. And it's emblematic of how the Republicans are unfit to lead a drunken conga line, much less a modern nation. And so the Republicans, I don't know, did you see this? They had a meeting. They had a meeting. Yes. Oh wait, we didn't even finish the policy positions because we got interrupted by the camera. But here's another. Look, the ramble. Trump discusses plan to pay for childcare. The Washington Post. Okay? If that's not a goddamn malpractice, media malpractice, or just if that isn't a shame on every journalist, whoever, or everyone who ever died for democracy, if that's not a goddamn disgrace to the sacrifice, really, what is? Because is that really the headline that should come from the ramblings of Trump at the economic whatever the hell club? Is that really the headline that this person took from it? Trump discusses plan to pay for childcare?
If you win in November,
issue, it's a very important issue.
Yes.
But I think when you talk about a country that can afford to take care of its people, and then we'll worry about the rest of the world. Let's help other people. But we're going to take care of our country first. This is about America first. It's about make America great again. We have to do it because
that's the policy. Make America great again. We have to do it. Oh, come on. Now you're bothering me? Fucking Jesus. No, go away. I can't deal with you right now. I love you, but I can't. I can't. Oh, God, help me. Please become a patron. Yes. Well, this is a person, just an average person trying to make it in this world like myself, wrote an article. The press response to Trump's word salad answer on childcare is peak sane washing. He rambled for 2 minutes, but you wouldn't know it from a lot of the media coverage. And there it is. Oh no. It's going black again. So, all right, this is the last story we can do. The show is hanging by a thread here. I don't know what I need to. Yeah, I got to get new cables, I guess, right? Update everything. That's what I should do. Do all updates, cables. Motherless. Mother of mercy. Have mercy on Tarabuster show. Please. Please, please, please. But, okay, so Republicans got together to pretend that they had policy positions, I guess. And that they got together to pretend that their con man is in any way fit to lead them down a Down to hell, I guess. I don't know. He wants to lead us all to hell. Lead us. Lead us. Can you believe that? They think he can lead us. But, so this is the Republican Party of Arkansas. And this is how it started, and here we go. Look at this. So, okay, I blocked it with my face. Junior and Boudica, cut it out. Buddha! No. Get back. She's being a baby. This is fucked up. She's bothering Junior. Buddha, stop it. Okay. Childless cat lady here. What can you do? So this woman is talking. There's a lady with this, I don't know, she looks like Julie, what's that lady? Julie Orman or Susie Orman's haircut. And then the other lady was at the microphone, and it looked like she banged into her or something. And because they're such good Christians, something was said between them. Like, you know, I don't know, get out of my way, bitch, or something, like something aggressive. Some words passed between them, and instead of taking the microphone and making her statement, you'll see what happened. The woman turns around to like, you talking to me? Do not threaten her. Do not threaten her. Now when I first saw this video, I wanted to look around at the diversity. Look, as you can see, the vast diversity of the Arkansas Republican Party. All those white faces there. I thought that they had a big tent. I don't know. I guess not. Look at this. Look at this shit. So the women have words, and then the men folk, they get up to defend their woman folk. So they come to bumping their bellies. And then, boom, he knocks the guy right in the nose. Everybody's shocked. I'm shocked too that they didn't start chanting "Hang Mike Pence," but I guess they didn't get their orders from the con man at that time. And the big Bubba went right down. Bubba, who goes to a meeting wearing overalls? I mean, all right, it's a casual meeting, but they actually wear overalls? With no, is he wearing a shirt? Oh yeah, he's wearing a black shirt. At least he did us that favor. I mean, who over the age of 5 should be wearing overalls? I don't know. It's not a good look. You're a grown ass man. Maybe if you need them for work. I don't know. I've never seen a grown-ass man in my neighborhood with overalls. I don't know what would happen. Maybe they wear them in Park Slope. They probably do. Men in Park Slope, you know, it's very hip there. Maybe that's a hip thing. They have beards. They ride bicycles. Some of them ride these stupid, like one wheel, the old-timey bikes. They fucking actually ride them around Prospect Park, like a guy with a beard. I could see him wearing overalls too, but to be ironic somehow. Yeah, some millennial, right? But a man for real? Overalls. You think Trump want to hang out with? These are Trump's people. These are the people he calls basement dwellers. I could think of some more choice words for them, but that's what he calls them, and he hates them like we always predicted. We know he hates them because he wants them dead. He kills them. He's killed more Trumpanzees than anybody, could ever imagine, like nobody's ever seen. Because they're the ones, as we know, in red counties, in the districts and the states that voted for Trump, there are more deaths. Because they want freedom. The freedom to, I don't know, not wear a mask or in a deadly pandemic, or not get any. Their precious bodies. They take care of their bodies, as you can tell by their amazingly enviable physiques, that they take care of their bodies so much they don't want to put no vaccine in there. Some untested vaccine. They'd rather, they have their own immune system to fight polio, measles, mumps, and rubella. Yeah, I mean, bring back the sweating sickness. They don't even know what that was, but it was pretty deadly. They bring it all back. Bring it all back. But really, look at this guy. If he was actually height, weight proportionate in that outfit, he might fit in Park Slope. Look at this shit, though. Hey, you look at me. Look at me in the eye. Look me. Look, this is what goes on. These are two grown men, all right? I mean, I know you can't, it's hard to tell with the overalls and all, but he does look like an overgrown toddler. But, come on. You're in a political meeting. You're supposed to be discussing your ideas. This doesn't go on in the Democratic meetings. I guarantee you that. This would not go on, and it would not be tolerated. If ever it happened, the person who did this, who hit somebody, would not be allowed back. So, but it wouldn't happen because we're too busy discussing health care. How do we get health care? How do we get these assholes black lung provisions and protections in our policies, even though they want to drink our tears? You know? How do we help these morons who are too stupid and racist and continue to vote for their oppressors? Because why? They hate trans people? Is that it? I mean, the lies, too. Just thinking, you saw Trump, I'm sure, saying, oh, you go to school. Kids go to school these days and they come out as they get trans people. Now they're trans. And then they say, what the hell happened to me? And nowhere on earth does that happen. They get surgery, they go to school, and you drop off Johnny and you pick up Janie. Jesus Christ. Does anybody believe that? And, of course, if Democrats said anything close to that, what do you think? You think the media would write headlines so generously to the Democrats? Because every headline for Harris is, this is what drives me crazy too, is like how something, even though this good thing is happening or the economy is on the rise and lowest unemployment rate and all this, but how is it gonna hurt Harris somehow? That's really true. That's how they frame it. Trump, could do anything. Clearly, he can. And somehow, it's going to negatively affect Harris. That's the headline. Because they know that Democrats are normal, and they're not going to send a mob to kill them. They might write a strongly worded email. All right. Listen, guys, we'll have more show because of the technical difficulties. We'll do a little bit more. I don't know. I could probably shut this music off, but I won't because we will win and, whatever. Become a patron at patreon.com/Tara Devlin. That'll help. Maybe help, but I gotta get a new computer here. New wires, new computer. We will win. We are on the right side of history, decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. We are. I can't help it. We're normal. We stick together, we win. Thank you, Charlie from APS Radio News. Thank you, JD. Thank you, Jim. Thank you, Ed. Oh, and thank you, 00Govin00. Man, oh man. Or, yeah, thank you for your super chat. What's up? What's up? What's up, guys? What's up? Become a patron. That's going to be in my headstone. Become a patron at patreon.com/TaraDevlin. You know that? It will. No. You know what? I'm doing a will. I should have done it a long time ago. Because, you know, whatever. I have to make revisions for the cats. And the guinea pig. And I wrote I said, yeah, want any special requests? And I said, well, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Of course, I won't be here. But I said, on my headstone, I wanted to say on my headstone, listen up now, guys. Death is a debt to nature due. I have paid it, and so will you. Okay? And underneath that, I wrote, I wanted to say, underneath that, be kind to animals. I'm not kidding. All right. And thank you, Jim, for taking care of the trolls in the chat. Thank you. And thank you, Pookie's mommy Irene, for the help with the cables. I wish it could be more, you said, but it's great. Thank you. You don't have to. I wish it was more too, but I'm just saying. Thank you. Thank you. I wish I played the lottery. It was like 700,000 or something. If I hit the lottery, we will not have to worry anymore. I will not be saying, please become a patron. But, all right. Look at this. Okay, let's get back to the Republican political meeting, because this is what they do. And it's hard to. I have to kind of explain it, I guess, for those who are listening audio only. It's really because it's just a melee. So he goes, boom. He's boom, punched right in the face. For what? He's just walking over to him, and then he sucker punches him. And then he keeps going. He's just like bashing him in the head. This is this is not the point of democracy, guys. You're supposed to solve your problems like adults. You don't. But this is what they do. You understand? They think this is normal, and I think it's a reflection. Not that people don't have fights and things don't happen, but these are two grown-ass men who are at a political meeting. They have no, they have no ability, it seems, to not just control themselves, but to know what is appropriate, how to behave. This is not appropriate behavior. You're not in the bar. But, you see, this is because of Trump. He has turned their political life into a death sport, into violence. He's inflicted violence into their political, zeitgeist, whatever. That's not the right word, zeitgeist, but into their understanding of politics. So of course, their political meetings are going to break out in fights, because they think that's appropriate. If you look at their stupid Nuremberg rallies with this con man, they just had he just had a Nuremberg rally not too long ago, or wherever, because he can barely come out of his bathroom nowadays. But and they attacked the press. Physically went after the press, and then the cops and the Secret Service had to get in between. But the cops probably wanted to go after the press too, because I'm sure you saw that the police union just endorsed this con man who had sent he supports the police. He backs the blue. No. They support the police state, and shame on the cops. Shame on the police union, I should say, because not all the police are monsters or stupid. But yeah, you're right. 00 Govan 00. Am I saying it right? I don't know how to pronounce your name, but yes, you're 100% right. Saying the press shouldn't even be there. There's nothing to cover. You're absolutely right. There is nothing to cover. You're right. What is the point of being there? What? Another round of unfair? Another, he's not doing anything new. What? Witch hunt? Who's he going to call Horseface? What is the point of being there? But that's another example of them enabling the con man and sane-washing him. In no way, in no universe, did his ramblings at that economic club or whatever bear any resemblance to the headlines that try to, I guess, decipher it for the readers. They did us a disservice. They did the people of this country a disservice. Anyone who wrote anything other than that was a rambling bowl of shit that he just shoveled onto the stage, and in a direct insult to everyone in that audience and anyone else unfortunate enough to be listening. That's it. That's the headline. He is a con man who doesn't know anything about policy. He doesn't know what a tariff is. He doesn't know what a health plan is. He doesn't know what a child care plan is. He has no plans. That's why they wrote it out for him, called Project 2025. His plans are autocracy. He doesn't have the maturity, the decency, the stamina for democracy. He's a kook, and all the time that the media would not shut the fuck up about Joe Biden's age. Well, how many headlines Blair Trader Trump's age? Is he too old? Is he too old? Is he old? Is he old? He's and Joe Biden's supposed cognitive decline, because he said millions, I mean trillions. Because he stutters and says millions, I mean trillions. And then all they do is go on. While Trump is there lying, of course, just lying like just fucking peppering us with lies that don't stop. All we get is the headlines about Biden's old, Biden's age, Biden's decline, Biden. Nothing about his cognitive decline and inability to put in to string a sentence together that makes any sense. Going on about Hannibal Lecter and fucking unbelievable, and shit that has nothing to do with whatever he was asked. Child care. Oh, we got to do it. Make America great. Tariffs. What he said nothing. He just said a lot of word salad that he talks about at his Nuremberg rallies. And then he wrapped it up with Make America Great, and all the monkeys applauded. I'm so sick of this shit. And that's why I'm glad people are calling it out. Not just me, but, it's getting out there. Shame on the media. How dare you? You should be embarrassed. Although, and I'm sorry that these examples that I found on Twitter that people were putting together of Trump's ramblings next to the headlines, Trump discusses plan to pay for childcare. Like this one, the Washington Post one. Where's the guy's name or the girl's name? Who wrote this piece of shit? It's a screen grab. There's no name there. That person should be embarrassed. They should be publicly shamed. Oh, Caitlin Lewis should be publicly shamed. Now, this is the Newsweek one. Caitlin Lewis. How Donald Trump and Kamala Harris's child care and family policies differ. Well, one, Kamala Harris has child care and family policy, and Donald Trump has his standard word salad grift and zero comprehension of what a policy even is. So, yeah, that's how they differ. One has policies, and the other is a con man trying to escape the consequences for his life of crime. That's the article, Caitlin. I'm sorry to tell you. I don't know. Maybe your editor said something. You had to frame it that way. But, okay, you shouldn't put your name on it. Trump suggests tariffs can help rising childcare costs in major economic speech. Major. Wow. Weren't we blown away? Are the future generations are going to unpack that speech. They're going to analyze it and discuss it for years to come. What a genius economic policy speech that. What a major speech. It's like winning a major award, right? And that something, night before Christmas thing or whatever. Christmas story. I won a major award. This is a major speech. Major economic speech? How much do we have to hate ourselves? How low have our standards be I can't talk. How low have our standards become? If that's a major economic speech. Are you fucking kidding me? It's like Eisenhower's Cross of Iron speech. Childcare, we gotta have it. You gotta have it. Major country. Hey, we're a big country here. You gotta have it. And Ivana and Marco Rubio, they were good at this. They were really good. You should probably talk to them because I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. You gotta have it. I mean, when you talk about those numbers compared to other kinds of numbers I'm talking about, I mean, you got to get it by taxing foreign nations at levels, they're not used to taxing them. But they'll get used to it very quickly. And, it's not going to stop them from doing business, but they'll have a very substantial tax. And then they'll send product into our country. And those numbers will get so big. That's what I told Stormy. But she never came. She never came, and my promises never, But it's going to take care. I look forward to having no deficits within a fairly short period of time. Remember when he said that he was going to have a GDP of something in like 2 weeks, coming in 2 weeks, as everything else is? And he never got there, never anywhere near. And of course, guess what? I know you're ahead of me. Democrats, Joe Biden, got there in this great number that Trump said he was gonna come in 2 weeks or whatever it was. It's very simple. It's the best deal you can ever make. It's the simplest deal. Because, you have to stay with, I have to stay with childcare. I want to stay with childcare. I don't want to go all over. Don't bring me off topic to something else that I know nothing about. Let's stay with childcare. Those numbers are relatively small to the numbers, the economic numbers I'm talking about, like nobody's ever seen. You know the numbers. I don't got to tell you. Why am I telling you? Why are you asking me? You have master's degrees. You actually went to school. When you went to business school, you didn't pay somebody to take the test. You fucking sat in the class and did the work. So what the hell are you talking to me for? What is wrong with these people? That's the problem in this country. Stop gaslighting us, World Economic Club. Why are you clapping? Why are you applauding that fucking baboon? Why? Don't you have any decency? I mean, don't you have any shame? How will you explain this to your children or the future when they're watching this clip and you're sitting there with a stupid look on your face and then you clap? You clap that? You clap at that fucking nothing, at that waste of time that we will never get back. That all those seconds in our life, listening to those words spew out of the lie hole of this filthy traitor. We'll never get that time back. We could have been spending that time working on actual policies that might actually work. But you go to a clown. You ask a carnival barker, a clown, a con man who's selling sneakers with a special edition sneakers with his fucking bloody face on it. The assassination edition. I wish I was kidding. I'm sorry to yell in your ears, but we're going to take it in trillions. As much as a childcare and as much as childcare is talked about as being expensive, it's the greatest deal. Relatively speaking, not very expensive to the kind of numbers we'll be taking in. Like, the number. You sat down, you did the numbers, you crushed the math. Everybody on earth is telling you that your stupid tariff, whatever the fuck he's talking about, he doesn't know what a tariff is from his taint. But everybody on earth is telling him that these tariffs will be a tax on everyone, not him because he doesn't pay taxes, because he's smart, right? No, he's a parasite. He's a fucking parasite. We're gonna make this into an incredible country that can afford to take care of its people. Well, we're trying, Trader Trump. We've been trying since the New Deal, since the first Gilded Age. And you fascist, filthy conservatives keep standing athwart history, yelling, stop. Well, why don't you get out of the way? Go away. Go to where the hell he said he was going to go. Venezuela? Go. Fuck off. Fuck the fuck off and keep fucking off until you are fucked off for good. Take your gilded toilet with you and your third trophy wife. She probably doesn't want to go with you. Because she doesn't go anywhere near you. Who goes to court? Trial up the wazoo. And your family never goes because they hate your guts? Oh, it was a real love story there. Con man and the trophy wife number 3. What a beautiful love story. I can't wait. Who will play them in the movie? The rom-com. We're going to make this into an incredible country, even though it's failing and it sucks and everything sucks here, except, it sucks here because we have diversity. Being a nation of immigrants sucks. When people get to control their own bodies and have health care, and when people get to get educated without becoming indentured servants to banksters, that just sucks. It's just such a shithole. We can afford to take care of its people. What fucking people? You hate people, Republicans. You can't even take care of children from getting shot in schools. Take care of people. We take care of people by what? Ripping health care from them? Stopping them from getting hot lunches? Taking care of people. Cutting their overtime pay? Making them ineligible for overtime? Or what else? I mean, everywhere we look in this Republican shithole administration, all they did, you want to take care of people. They did nothing for people. They're taking care. They mean taking care in the old mob sense of the word. Yeah, you got to take care of that guy. Take care of the people. Right in the back of the head, right? With an ice pick. Oh, he saw that in Goodfellas. He wants to be, he's just like Gotti. I guess he is. Teflon Don. Judge Mershon and the Teflon Don. This is nothing political here. That's the weave, you see. Going on the weave. I'm doing a weave. We're going to make this into an incredible country. And then we'll worry about the rest of who fucking asked you about the rest of the world in this question? You turd goddamn fucking, I don't even know. I was going to call him Turd Blossom, but then I remembered that's what Karl Rove used to call George W. Bush. No coincidence, I guess. Oh, no, it was the other way around, right? Bush called, Rove that. That's right. Let's help other people. But we're going to have to take care of our country first. Is that what she asked you? This is about America first. By putting America last. Making America first in all the worst, like death rate and child poverty and infant mortality and needless death. Despite having, being the richest country on earth. That's what we're first. America, that's what they talk about. You understand? When the Republicans say America first, they're talking about the first in poverty, childhood hunger, and lack of education, going to, indentured servitude to banksters. When you go to college, that's what they're talking about. They're not talking about America first as that shining city on a hill. Their shining city on a hill is an ivory tower where they look down on the plebs and laugh and spit at them. It's all about making America great again. We have to do it because right now we're a failing nation. Really? Kiss my white Irish ass, you filthy traitor. We have to do it so we're a failing nation, so we'll take care of it, and they applaud. And these idiots applaud. What are you applauding? Are you applauding that it's over, maybe? He shut his hole? For once in a shitty, rotten waste of human DNA life? Is that it? Is that why you applauded? I know that's why I would applaud. Yeah, all right. Well, here's the let's wrap it up. I see Kathy's going to bed, so we might as well all go to bed because we do everything together as a group, as a Tarabuster community. It's time for bed, bye. My computer is shit. My camera sucks. My cats are fighting. My feet hurt, my eyes ache, my leg, I got corns, I got bunions, I got... Finally, Boudica's sleeping. That's good. Oh, here's Tara Jr. behind me. Very good boy. See, that's what you should... I'm just... Where is Ecam? Where is Ecam? Beep, 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 bam. It's time to say Ecam. What the hell is it? All right. Well, anyway, so he got his nice pink shirt ripped by his fellow Republican. But you understand, that's why... I'm sure you... I mean, I don't need to explain it, but... That's why their political meetings break out in violence, because this is Trump's doing. This is what the Republican Party has become. They have made this normal. This is normal behavior in their meetings where we're supposed to solve our differences like adults. But they can't. Because they're violent inside. They can't take... Of course they're going to stand up to each other. That's why it's like that fucking asshole in the I think we were talking about this, Robin and I. Robin reminded me of that Teamsters president, the traitor, who went to the RNC and gave them plausible deniability that they don't hate workers. He should be voted out. He's a traitor. And they were in the meeting with Bernie was I can't remember which meeting it was though, and he was like, "You stand up, stand your ass up. You stand up, you first." This is what we're dealing with. This kind of shit psyche. Look at him. And this guy, hey, he hurt me. Oh, but the last thing was that I saw about this fight was that the guy who sucker punched the big guy, the big overgrown baby Yui that's what he looks like. He looks like baby Yui with the overalls, He's like a big guy. Baby Yui with a beard. He kind of does. Right? No offense, but you shouldn't wear overalls, guy. Come on, guy. Come on, my guy. I'm no fashionista. Look at me. But I know that's the difference, though. I know my limitations. I think that's kind of the difference in general with Republicans and Democrats, or normal people and Republicans. You just don't know your limitations. Who told you wearing overalls was a good idea? Am I wrong here? This is a grown-ass man wearing overalls. I don't know. So, where the hell is my... Come on. Anyway, so the guy who sucker punched the big guy, he said that he feared for his life. That's why. So they're investigating this event, this monumental event. Some of them were probably at January 6th. I wouldn't doubt it. It wouldn't surprise me in the very least. Well, they think they're hostages, the violent fuckers who beat up cops and shit. And the cops who endorse the Republicans, shame on them. But he said that he feared for his life. But isn't that the kind of that's the old standby for all the cowards nowadays? You don't have to act like a decent person. You just be a violent dirtbag, and then you tell everybody you feared for your life. Because there should be consequences. These are grown-ass people. You have to That's why there's laws, you know. I know the Law and Order Party. I know. Guys, come on. They're not the Law and Order Party. That's why the cops, this police union, endorse them, because they like brutality. That's why they want to get away with. They don't want to police. They don't want to protect and serve. They want to brutalize the population. They don't want to live within the boundaries of the laws. Laws schmaws. Laws are for brown people and others who have no political power. The rich who aren't rich. The poor, I should say. That's the law. They want to be able to, kneel on somebody's neck with no consequences. That's what Republicans will do for them. That's why I always wonder, these are the bad apples when they find a cop that's, goes to prison for murdering somebody, like that woman who had a hot water and rebuked the cop in the name of the Lord. You better fucking not. And then he shot her in the head, saying, "Oh, I'll shoot you right in the face." And then 2 seconds later, he shot her in the face. So, that guy. They want to be able to do shit like that without any consequences. But he goes to jail, or he was arrested, thank God. But those are the bad apples we hear. But if there's so many, if that's the bad apples, what happens when the so-called good cops come out and report the bad apples? You know what happens? They become pariahs. Because everybody's protecting the bad apple. So what is that about? Just says something's rotten. It sounds like all the apples are rotten. But whatever. Not all. Can't say all. But yeah. Well, right. Why didn't she just comply? Exactly. Unbelievable. It breached me. Oh, you might get hot water on you? Does that mean you shoot somebody in the head? Even if she did throw hot water on you, you get a burn. You live. You don't shoot somebody in the fucking head. And you have a goddamn taser, too. And the mother even said, she's sick. She's having a mental problem. And don't send anybody like him. Oh boy. But whatever. He feared for his life, you see, against a 100-pound woman having a mental breakdown. He was like 6-something, armed to the teeth. Yeah, I could see how they would fear. How the fear. Such bravery, these people. These are the ones that walk around Walmart with the AR-15s, right? Can't go shopping without packing heat. Brother. All right. Listen, yes. Gotta go. Thank you. Well, now Jim is going, so we're all going. We're all going to sleep. We're going to bed. All right, everybody? Listen. We will win. We will do a show during the week. We will. If you can, please become a patron at patreon.com/taradevil. I'm not making the video bigger because it looks like shit. Good thing I had a backup camera, right? Tara Jr.'s trying to get my attention. But listen, guys. Let's have a show during I have more show to do, but whatever. Oh shit, what happened? Now it went black again. See? Wow. Woozy, wow. This show is becoming a technical nightmare. All right, listen, guys, there's more show. We could talk about, I was going to talk about the Russian thing, we'll talk more about everything when we get back together during the week. And we will, I want to show you what I'm dealing with right now behind trying to start my iPhone camera. Oh, okay. Here we go. You see this shit? This is what I'm dealing with as I'm trying to talk. He's just like tapping on me. All right. All right. Can you just relax a little bit? All right. You want to just relax. He's very demanding. He's very demanding. Hey, look at me. Watch if I try to take my hand away. See, he bites me. He needs my hand. All right. My hand is like an object. It's just an object. It's not my own. All right. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Ow! That hurt. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Scratch, scratch, scratch. Okay, can I have my hand back? No. Okay, okay, okay. Can I have it back? No. Okay. How about now? No, no. Okay. You see what I'm saying? Such a demanding. Oh, no, no. Okay. All right, all right, all right. Can I have my hand? Good boy. Good boy. You're very good. Hey! I need my hand. All right. You got to go jujitsu on it to get your hand back. He's still back there. He's still there. He's still there. Watch this. You want to see something? Come here. Come on. There we go. There we go. All right. Ah, get up there. All right, everybody. That's the end of the show. We will win. All right. Why? Why, Tara? Why? Because we're on the right side of history. We're on the right side of decency, dignity, democracy, humanity. All right, guys. My name is Tara Devlin. This is Tara Jr. Look at this. This is crazy. It's crazy. This show's going off the rails now. And I will see you. I'll see you. Oh my God, he's eating the microphone. I will see you. Hopefully during the week. I love you all. Thank you so much. Thank you for. He's almost gonna fall. No. No falling allowed.